All right, Detroit Lions starting to prove that they're no longer same old Lions. If you don't know what S.O.L stand for, that's what it stands for. Same old Lions. After a huge victory over the Minnesota Vikings, there was a pivotal game. Now you remember earlier in the season, I told y'all that there was the Week 3 matchup, whatever it was, against Minnesota. Um, that it was a turning point in the season to see if they were going to be the same old Lions. Okay. And, they proved, they went up fast, got our hopes up. And, Minnesota came down, last play of the drive, scored a touchdown. Notoriously, KJ Osborne scored the last two touchdowns in those games. He scored the first touchdown to ice the game for them in the first week. And then the second, he scored the last touchdown, I think, today. Well, y'all see this Monday. So, it's crazy. He's a local guy, too. Um, but I mean, it was at a pivotal point of the season after that Minnesota loss. People were speculating had Dan Campbell lost the locker room. I mean, then they spiraled. You know, there was a lot of talk about him and specifically, um, being a little bit too aggressive and going for it. That's the New Orleans Saints known for. Remember the Super Bowl, they went for the onside kick in the whole nine. And that's what they were known for. Now, and I explained this on the live, and I explained this before. What's happening is once you go for it as much as they go for it, okay, they was going for it. Guess what? And you don't get it. Guess what? You give your defense a short field. You got a defense that's young, inexperienced, and you giving them a short field. So guess what? Of course, statistically, they're gonna look bad because they playing on a short field. Now, people, it's not mad, and people now they starting to play the now they starting to play the field position game. You know, and that's what they starting to play. They starting to play field position, and now you see why field position is so important. You know, and I think that's other than getting healthy. That's the biggest thing that changed was Dan Campbell swallowing his pride, saying I'm being too aggressive. I'm putting my defense in a position of weakness. Okay. And I have to swallow my pride and have to, do something different. And that's what he did. He swallowed his pride, stopped going for it as much, gave his defense a full field or more of a whole field to work with. And things started to change. They started getting healthy, started getting Kaminsky back. They got, Josh Pascal back. They got a healthy DJ Shark back that looked like the difference maker that we thought he was going to be. So they started getting guys healthy, and that was part of the whole issue. I told y'all going into this season, they simply had too many guys that was injured before football was snapped. And that's what happened. But the benefit to that is if you can get Anazorki healthy, you can get Tracy Walker healthy. You can get Melifanu healthy. You can get some of these guys back healthy, high tire replacement. You get these dudes back healthy. Guess what? It's like getting a whole different draft class. It's like getting a whole different free agency class. Now you mix that, with, Kirby Joseph learning on the job. Made a mistake today, he gonna hear about it. You mix that with Aiden Hutchinson and Charles Harris getting healthy. Romeo probably come back on the prove it deal getting healthy. Malcolm Rodriguez taking a step in the right direction. So now you start to get guys healthy. James Mitchell come back healthy. Jameson Williams finally get 100% healthy. Now you start to get these dudes back healthy. Now you start to get a better look. Now you start to build depth. James Houston came out of nowhere. So, I mean, doing a great job of building the talent in depth. But that's going to continue to take time. But turning the corner started with Dan Campbell. His ability, when it was all going good and everything is jolly green good and everything is rosy red cheeks like Santa Claus and everything is going good and the media love your one-liners. When you start losing, my thing was he gonna remain unbreakable, and he remained unbreakable. He remained unbreakable. You know, he remained unbreakable, and that was a huge thing. That was a huge thing. So his ability to weather the storm, swallow his pride, make the coaching adjustments, clock management, that's a huge thing. I talked about it on the live after the game. The things that make up a coach. His social skills, the people skills, the respect, being able to lead men, which all four of them can kind of go together, and clock management. Those are important ingredients for a coach before we even start to talk about X's and O's. And if you can't communicate, you can't, have people skills, get the respect. What I'm saying? You can't manage these personalities. You can't do that, then the X's and O's won't matter if you can't get men to follow you. So it started with him. Then they got healthy. Then the coaches and the coaching staff, they got experience. Now it's a young coaching staff. They're getting experience. They respect them. They run through the wall through Dan Campbell. And they went through a nasty stretch for a minute. They beat the Commanders. They lost to the Eagles, beat the Commanders. Then they lost to Minnesota. They lost the shootout. Minnesota came back and beat us on the last play. Damn near. They lost the shootout to Seattle. Remember how you lost on the last play in Minnesota last year? Got blew up by New England. Even St. Brown wasn't healthy. The Dallas game turned on the dime. They started to get healthy. The Dolphins game, the Green Bay game was they started to turn around. Chicago, they found ways to win. Went to MetLife, found a way to win. The Bills game was with us Jags, but at the end of the day, it probably would have been beneficial if they was able to get the Cowboys and the Dolphins win or some or Minnesota win in the long haul. But they can carry this momentum in the next season. Hopefully they carry into the playoffs. Each week is a playoff week for them now. I'll speak on that later. But gonna get tested next week versus Jets. But he started to turn it around. That was the difference. He remained unbreakable. He turned it around. He made the adjustments. He swallowed his pride. He did what he had to do. He took accountability. He made an adjustment. But also, other than that, the biggest thing was they simply are a more healthy football team. So they turned the corner. Let's see if they can continue to, finish the last stretch of the race strong. It's not a cakewalk, but to some people on paper, it might be a cakewalk. The Jets is no joke. Mike White is balling. The Panthers, they ain't got nothing to lose. Sam Darnold was healthy. Chicago, we barely beat them last time. They a good football team. And Green Bay, last game of the season at home. I mean, 2 road games, 2 Jets and the Panthers. Last happened was Stafford got outplayed by Philip Walker, PJ Walker. But Green Bay, we had horror stories, going to Green Bay last game of the season. So, but yeah, they passed the turning point. Let's see if they can continue to sprint down the home stretch and finish strong. So, check out my Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Make subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop video. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree, first link description. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Let this podcast up right on Spotify, Anchor right now. Hit the link tree. Those links will take you straight there. Peace.